so I don't look down. Every single one of you.
I want you to deal with your problems by becoming rich.
I can't even see you because I don't look down.
I'm not leaving. The show goes on. This is my home. They're gonna need a wrecking ball to take me out of here.
Don't look down.
Good timing, everybody, whether it's morning, evening, or in between, wherever you are in the world today. Welcome to unRekt Traders. Before we begin, please hit the like and subscribe and join us to share ideas, strategies, and learn together to make better trades. This is not financial advice, nor am I a financial advisor. This is strictly my thoughts and ideas, so let's get that crypto. Today is May 11th, Wednesday, 2022. Looking in at the monthly chart, we have resistance, 44,000, support, 31,700, and a target area of 21,250. Currently, right now, we are being held up by the support. The 100 on the quasi hasn't come into the range yet. It's just sitting just above it. The 10 is coming down low below the range, so it is in trend. However, if this does have the opportunity to continue to move upwards and into the range, then price can easily come back up to this resistance level of 44,000. However, currently we are pushing the support level. So we'll see if this can come into the range or not. If not, we could see a bounce up from this support, which is kind of what I was expecting when we were way over here. Come down to the 100 Bollinger Band at the top, find support, bounce off, possibly retest the resistance, and then make our way down to the 21,200. But again, as of right now, we're just pushing support. We have the resistance up here, and it is trying to get to this target, but it does have to get through these two support levels before it can get to that target. Coming down into the weekly, and on the weekly, we have resistance just above us here with the 50 and 20 Bollinger Bands. That's at 33,800. And the 20 band above us is 35,100. We do have support below us, which is the 3.2, which should act as strong support. Unless we do stay in trend. And then if this 20 on the one slip continue upwards, make momentum, get some momentum behind it, then we can push the support level here of 27,400, possibly put it into expansion, and then bring us right down to the 21,800. On the daily, things are starting to change around a little bit, where we do have the support at 27,200, which is also our 3.2 on the 20. We have resistance at 33,200. The 20 on the quasi is just below the band here. We also have the 200 below the band. So if it does get through this resistance, the 200 bottom Bollinger Band will act as a resistance as well, which is at 35,400. The 10 itself is just starting to enter into that range area on the bottom of the quasi. It's really questionable right now if it's going to continue up. It could get rejected off of here quite easily. However, I did put possible target of 35,000, which would be the 10 line here. Now this is moving down, still have quite a bit of time, but tomorrow, if this does continue in a downward direction, then it will be sitting in around 34,200. And again, I put it as a line because it's more of a watch area than a possible target, but it could become one if we can push just a little bit higher. But we, at the present moment, we still have to get above this 20, so this 20 will have to come into the quasi. Although, we can quite easily push up to this 33,200 area. Coming into the 4 hour, we have support at 30,500, resistance at 31,900. We do have a possible target on the 20 white here at 32,500. And then upper resistance at 33,800, which will be the 100 Bollinger Band bottom here. Overall support at the very bottom on the 3.220 is 27,560. So price does want to push up to this resistance area, up to possibly here. We could find quite a bit of resistance here at the bottom of the 100 just because of how low this is. And then the 250, if these do push up into here, hold the 50 resistance, which becomes support, then we could possibly push up to the bottom of this 200, and then I would expect extreme resistance at this point unless we go full bullish. At 1 hour, on the 1 hour, we have support at 30,500. So support at 30,500. The 100 Bollinger Band itself is also support at 31,000. It's just above the range here. So this also creates a mean reversion to the possible target here of 33,400. However, we do have the 3.2 resistance here on the 20, which is 32,600. So more or less what I'm kind of expecting for the 1 hour currently would be a move up into this possible target here, which we're almost there anyway. This could be considered a kiss on that 50. The 20 is about to break out of that range, so we could get one little push up to this 50, come back down to the bottom of the support, and then come into this resistance on the 200, try to break through to get to this 33,400. So if I was to draw a path on this, I'd be kind of expecting something more like this. Come back down, retest the support, which would be a little bit lower, and then come up into resistance and see if we can get above here or get rejected and continue to the downside. If this 200 can break up into the range area, then we could see that move up to the 35,500 area. And again, we do have that 3.2 there, so we do have to see some form of bullishness. As of right now, for the most part, on the 1 hour, everything's really weighted to the downside. The 20 is just breaking into the upside. So the only thing we have pulling us, for the most part, is that 10. But I do see a little bit of positive upside, at least up to the 32,100. And then if we come into that 4 hour, which is going to give us our best idea of what's going on anyway, we could see 32,500 up to the 33,900 kind of area, and then possible rejection from there back down to the 50 resistance. But again, this is our main resistance at the present moment in time. We could come to here, wick to this, and then our body stays below the resistance, and we continue to push down to the 27,005. So we have a little bit of bullish sentiment, but for the most part, we are still bearish. All the moving averages on the 4 hour are aiming in the downward direction. Other than the 10, everything's weighted to the downside still. We're kind of in quite a bit of the averages are in the overexpanded area. The 10 is just starting to cool off. The 20, is starting to cool off, so we likely see, with the 20 kind of moving down, as long as it continues downwards, then it'll want to push to that possible target of 32,500. But, as of right now, that's pretty much the extent of the bullish that I see until things change on the charts. We go up to the Nexus. I'll just kind of quickly go over the Nexus real quick. We're kind of sitting in that little daily range. I think we're just above it. So with the daily range, my brush. So from the daily, we are down. So we're looking for further down direction. However, this range is within this range, so it's kind of a neutral, be it like a neutral down where the possibility of reversal is in effect. We are to the positive side of this range, and we have been holding it. And although it is slightly weak, If it can hold, then we should see a move up to the daily R1, possible previous day high, which would give us our 32,500 again. So that's kind of a confluence price that we've been seeing consistently. Again, the previous week low will be our ultimate area to get above right here, which is 33,700. We can get above that and hold, then there's no reason why we can't come into this weekly range here. It is a naked range, so it'll be considered a magnet on price. Let me just delete these brush marks. I think that's kind of it for the Nexus for the most part. Previous 3-month low, we have to get above 32,900 to continue up to the upward direction. We have fallen through the yearly, so previous year low will be the current target for the most part, 27,700. And if we just look at price action on the daily, just going to bring up these. Going to bring up the Fib channels, which are here. I drew these in quite a while ago. And again, you know, we fell through this Fib channel, and we've come down to the 0.5 of the descending Fib channel, which you can see here. So we did find support off that 0.5. It is possible that we come back up, retest the bottom of this channel, which would be the 34.9. See if we can get back into this channel or not, and then kind of come up into, you know, the top of this channel, which would bring us to that 51. This would kind of make everyone bullish, and then it's possible that we get the push back down even to this midpoint here if the upward Fib channel doesn't hold. So these are two nice channels right now that we're in. Again, we did just break through this one, retest, you know, we'll just make, like, if I was to even come to this confluence area right here, that's May 19th area. See if we can get up into here, up to 43,000, or if we get rejected off the channel and come back down to, you know, the 28,000 area. So we'll see how this plays out. You know, I am expecting a little upward direction after that drop. And if we just do a Fib channel from here to here, kind of zoom in a little bit so we can see it better. Our 0.5 is at the 38,900 area, and then the golden pocket in and around the 41,000. I do believe there's a naked quarterly up there. I'm not going to bring it up right now. The 0.5 would be a reasonable place to come to, at least for a retracement for this whole area. And then if we can get above that 0.5, then we can look for higher. But again, you know, based upon the machine, I think we're looking at, I think it was 32.5 area to begin with, and then we'll go from there. This is more of a long-range outlook. We are on the daily. And speaking of long-ranged outlooks, we will bring up, well, we'll bring up the Gann first. We'll take a quick look at the Gann chart. Pricing on here, you know, I made it back in 2018 for the most part. I'll get rid of this previous all-time high because it's no longer in effect, because this is the newer one. So basically what I do is just kind of draw my range levels based upon where price is when I draw it. At the time, you know, it was sitting on this daily here, right on this trend line, I guess, Gann line. So I put the yellow to above, and this would be the extreme move up to 43,300, and then the extreme move to the downside at 16,400. So you can see even on this Gann line that was drawn back in 2018, probably 2019 really, well no, 2018. No, it would have been 2019, probably around April 2019 or so, I would say. Yeah. Anyways, regardless of when it was made, you know, we're pushing up, kind of finding a little bit of resistance on this trend line coming down from the all-time high. Once we get above that, we can push up into the 34.3. If this does hold as resistance at the 32.2 area, which I don't think it will, but if it does, then we can see a retest of, you know, the 29.9, and then fall down through that. Then we're looking in at around 25.5. So that is this is kind of my long-term analysis that I look at a couple times a week to see where we're at, and then I just kind of move the lines over periodically. And I'll load up the future outlook. And on the future outlook, let me just get rid of the 16 degrees here and bring up the mother overlay. Come up into the weekly. That's what it's configured for right now. I think a week ago or a couple weeks ago, I was showing the confluence level that we were at here. And then if we drop through, I said that we'd probably likely come to the 0.34, which is we kind of went a little bit below that 0.34. If I was to divide basically from here to here, you know, this is the 0.5. So 0.25 would be sitting around here. So, well, maybe it did go to the 0.34 actually. So, yeah, there we go. So right now, you know, it hasn't drawn itself down to that line, which was our support line from back here, basically. And then, you know, if it does hold as support, then we can kind of move back up even to the 0.5, which would take us to 40,700, let's say. And if it does fall through this line, which unfortunately we have to wait a week for it to recreate itself, then we could possibly come down to the minus 0.5 here, which would bring us to the 24,600 area. So this is kind of where they're headed. So we'll see if they can find the support that they need to push us back up to at least the 41,000 area, which would be a nice little. Currently, that would kind of take us to this little level here, which was support or resistance. Sorry. Didn't really act as much support here. However, resistance, support. So it has been a nice line in the past, and that's where the 0.5 is sitting right now. So the extreme, you know, our extreme bottom for the most part, 24.6 currently, it is pushing downwards. Extreme high, still 67,000, which kind of takes us to the all-time high almost, and then our mid-level at the 40,650. If we come into the golden pie on the weekly, this is more of a historical chart than anything. However, you know, it has shown us when to short, when the bottom was in. This instance, we had the long where this came down almost, you know, kissed that yellow basically, had enough to give the signal, and then we took off from there. Again, in 2017, we had the short, called the bottom again, and then we almost had the long here. Like, it literally just not enough to give us the signal. It was pretty much right there though, and then we took off again. Now this was our little heartbreak here, which will continue to probably be a heartbreak. And now we had our short signal here. We did make the other all-time high, which kind of surprised me a little bit, but things are always going to be a little bit different. And now we're pushing down kind of in this area. We do have our bottom signal getting closer and closer, and then this pink one would basically have to come all the way down here still. So there's quite a bit of room left to go. And then, you know, if we look at it from this perspective here, kind of sitting in around here, this still had quite a bit left to go. And we're kind of in the same pattern as well. So we come into the 2-year MA. Again, more of a historical than anything. And I look at these kind of like once a week. And there's really no point looking at them more than that unless we have extreme moves. But again, you know, we have our 2013, we kind of have our little sell areas. It comes in for our buys. The lower it gets, the better the buy. Again, our sell areas, buy areas. Then we had our heart attack buy area. And then just kissed the sell area on this one. And then we're kind of in that buy area right now. So we're coming down into that second buy area. So it'd be really nice if we could get down to that, you know, 17, 19 area. We are in that zone right now. So now it doesn't mean that we won't drop right down to these levels again, but this is a nice little zone area. I think Michael Saylor just said that his liquidations are sitting around $4,400 or something like that. I guess it all depends on how much people like Michael Saylor and how much they want him out of the game. If they want him out of the game, we're going to 4,400. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. And I think that's pretty much it. I don't have much left to say. We're kind of pushing into, how long has this been going for? 20 minutes. So we'll call it here, 20 minutes. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe. And once again, wherever you are in the world today, whether it's morning, evening, or anywhere in between, thanks for joining.